If the light in my eyes seems to have disappeared, recording a video, losing the footage, and then re-recording, having it saved, but losing the audio does that to a person. So I am relying heavily on these Samsung headsets for the audio, and if this doesn't work, this will be my 13th reason. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kenosi if you are new around here, and if you're not new, my name is still Kenosi. And today I wanted to do something fun. I wanted us to talk about a book that I have been reading, Matigari by Ngũgĩ wa Thiong'o, one of the African giants. Love him down. Love this book, and I am hoping that this little chat we're gonna have, will influence you into wanting to read it as well. So I'm not gonna give out any spoilers in my discussion of the book. The book is set up in a fictional African country that just gained independence from colonial powers. You know how that goes. Our main character is coming back from the mountains after getting rid of his ops, and he hides his weapons under a fig tree. No, Sylvia. I'm so funny. He hides his weapons under a fig tree and adorns himself with the belt of peace. His intention for the book is to go back to his home, find his wives and kids, and make a beautiful life together. And he is gobsmacked when he returns to the country and finds that his people are still living in disarray. Workers are being exploited by the wealthy while they get wealthier, and the workers just get by. Kids are homeless, women are forced to walk the streets. It's not a good time, and it is especially shocking for him given the context that he went to the mountains in. Let me paint the picture for you of his life before the big battle. He lived in the country, built a home, built a house that was taken over by settler Williams. So he lived in the house that Matigari built while Matigari slept outside. He tended to the fields, and settler Williams took home a harvest while Matigari was left with whatever leftovers Williams didn't want. He ran the industries, and the profits, of course, went to Williams. You can see how exhausting this gets. You can see how a person ends up choosing to not live like this anymore, because why would I intentionally live like this? One day, Matigari wakes up from this sleep that has left him complacent, that has left him okay with the way of life that he's been leading of, making the clothing, having Williams take it, leaving him naked, having him build a home and being homeless. One day he wakes up from that sleep and he's like, I want my house back. So he tells Williams, get out of my house. Go build your own. Go build your And I feel like that's fair. He's like, go build your own house, you leech, you parasite, you who harvests where he did not sow. Go get your own, leave. Which is fair. And Williams, of course, refuses. You know how they are. He's on some, no, why would I do that? And Matigari sees the light. He sees that where words fail, hands may succeed. And he makes a decision to take out Williams. So he gets his pew-pew and he's like, all right, let me go take what's mine. But his plan is foiled by John Boy, who I can only describe as being the book's equivalent to Uncle Ruckus from the Boondocks. Like that's the image that I had in my head when I was reading up about John Boy. It's very, very Uncle Ruckus adjacent. It's a tangent, but like you see, they all have these names, Kibuntate Williams, and then you come in and they call you John Boy. John Boy. And you don't find that disrespectful, Uncle Ruckus? You don't see how you are viewed as a boy amongst men by the people that you ride or die by? Anyway, he foiled his plan, and both Settler Williams and Uncle Ruckus, John Boy, chase Matigari out into the mountains where they have this battle that lasts for years and years over the works of Matigari's hands. And we see who returns. We see who comes back from the mountains. So I know who I'm putting my money on, because we see who returns and we see who doesn't. Given that context, you can imagine the shock that we, as the reader and Matigari, experience when he comes back for his house, only to find that it has been inherited by John Boy Jr. and Settler Williams' son. I didn't get rid of your fathers for you to take my property. I did not kill your daddies for you to take what's mine. So hand over the keys to my house. And again, that's fair. They refuse. So you can imagine the disillusionment of Matigari as he spent all of these years fighting for what is his. He comes back to be told that no, this is not yours. Not only that, we are going to lock you up and call you crazy. He ends up escaping, and in his escape, he goes on a quest in search of truth and justice. His question on his quest is literally, where can a man who is adorned with the belt of peace find truth and justice in this land? He goes to all four corners of the world. He goes to the preachers, the teachers, the students, the workers, everybody. Where can a man adorned with the belt of peace find truth and justice in this land? And if you are interested in finding the answer to that question, whether there is an answer, what the answer is, I would say read the book, because I don't want to give you any spoilers. The book is well written, contending with Matigari's disillusionment with all of those years of his life spent in battle, amounting to essentially nothing, and seeing the life that workers are living, where you are extremely exploited, your labor for damn near peanuts, and you can't even ask for a raise or time off or anything, while the people who do nothing gain all of the profit from your work. So yeah, it has a lot of Marxist themes, capitalist themes, life in post-colonial Africa, life under an my tongue. Life under an authoritarian state that, in my opinion, is heading for what life was like in 1984 by George Orwell. Like, it's not fully there yet, but I can see His Excellency or Excellency being somewhat of a big brother type force in the universe. Yeah, I think it's extremely well written. I have my standout character, which is Guthera. And, in this world that has been established to be riddled with corruption on all fronts by, the cops, the judges, the politicians, everybody. In that world, she ends up living a life of sex work in order to provide for herself and her siblings. And I find her to be such a compelling character. She is so aware of the world in the eyes of a woman. She has this understanding that lends itself to her ability to be empathetic towards other women who would otherwise persecute her. She understands that whether or not you are a pick me, you are still a woman living in a world that is not made for women, or that is not made for the benefit of women. I find her to be very intelligent, very empathetic, very selfless. She is way more than her willingness and her ability to give herself up for the sake of her siblings and eventually for Matigari. There's so much to her. And she has my favorite monologue in the entire book, and I would like to read it for you. And if anything, I hope that this monologue is what convinces you to give the book a try. So, wait. Let me have a sip of water. Let me have a sippity sip. So her monologue goes as follows. What I really want to say is that most of the things I've been doing so far have not sprung from my being able to choose. I have been wearing blinkers like a horse. Yes, I have never done anything which came from free choice. I've been moved here and there by time and place. Except for yesterday, when I broke my 11th commandment. I could have chosen not to do it, but I didn't. I chose to do it freely for an end in which I believed. But that is not what I really want to say. You see, I have known all along that the life I have been leading is not that of a human being. It has been more like that of an animal. My life has not been any different from that of any animal which breathes, eats, drinks, and goes to sleep. Therefore, the most important thing is not just to know that my life has been without meaning. I would say that there is no woman who does not really know the pressures that we women live under. What is troubling my thoughts is this. Once a person knows, what does she do about it? Or is knowing just good in itself? Is it enough for me just to say that now I know? I want to do something to change whatever it is that makes people live like animals, especially us women. What can we as women do to change our lives? Or will we continue to follow the paths carved out for us by men? Aren't we in the majority anyway? Let's go. From now on, I want to be among the vanguard. I shall never be left behind again. Matigari, stamp your feet to the rhythm and let the bullets tinkle. May our fears disappear with the staccato sound of our guns. The woman that you are, my lady. And I don't know, man. I feel like Ngũgĩ is such a beautiful writer. I mean, at certain points in the book, as heavy as the material is at points, I found myself laughing because he is so funny. He could have been a comedic writer if he wanted to, because he is so funny. He was so funny. R.I.P. the GOAT, R.I.P. the legend, R.I.P. the African giant. Rest in power, King. Legends don't die, they multiply. I don't know why I'm doing all of that, but I have the utmost respect for Ntate Ngũgĩ, and I hope he is resting in peace and in power and in anything else his heart may have desired while he was here on earth. The man that you were, sir. So yeah, I love this book, and I love the way that it is written. I love the way Guthera is written. I love the way Matigari is written. I love the way that even the insignificant characters, I would say, not even insignificant, like the people that have the least roles, like that don't have a lot to do, like the snitch. I love the way that they're written. It makes you think in that way of art imitating life or life imitating art, where you're like, so this is a fictional country, but is it really all that fictional when you look at Africa, like where we are right now, life after colonialism? Like, are we really in a post-colonial world like we think we are? I think it discusses Marxism and capitalism and post-colonial Africa and faith. In a way, faith does it so well. The only thing I would say I didn't fully enjoy was the way it can get repetitive in some parts, but that is, I believe it's a me thing, because I can recognize the necessity of the repetition. I can see how important it is to drive the story forward, but I just personally don't particularly enjoy reading the same line over and over again. But yeah, that's just a me thing. One of my other favorite things about the book is the ending, the way it doesn't have a happy ending in the traditional sense, and it doesn't necessarily end in tragedy either. It's it I felt that it left me with a choice, in that I can choose how to view the way things ended in the book, as either this terrible thing where it's like, oh my god, it's over, or like this hopeful thing of like, oh my god, it's beginning. And that's without giving out too many spoilers. Like, you have a choice. It leaves you with a choice of like, do you want to view it as an ending or do you want to view it as a beginning? It doesn't give you the storybook thing of, and they lived happily ever after, or like, if you do this, this is what's gonna happen. If you wanna win this way, do this and then you're gonna win. It's like, it mirrors life in that way, and it's so beautifully written, and I really, I love it so bad. I love it, and I hope you give it a shot. I hope you give it a chance. I think you might be able to find it in your local library, especially if you live in Africa, because I got it at my library. I think it would be great if you got yourself a library card, went to look for it, read it, because it is free that way. And another thing I appreciate about the library, his lending system, is that I'm not committing to buying a book that I may not like. If I don't enjoy it, I can always take it back. And I love the lack of commitment. So yeah, I hope you give it a shot, and I hope you had a good time with me today. I know I had a good time with you. Like, I'm very happy I did this. I'm very happy that I get to share this with you. And yeah, do subscribe, do comment your thoughts on the book, whether or not you're open to reading it. I don't know, just whatever you think about the book, whatever you think about the book discussions, whether you have any suggestions or praises, leave the comment down below. Be respectful, be kind. I will find you if you're not. Do like, if you had a good time with me, like the video. And if you didn't have a good time with me, still like the video, because otherwise I will find you and make you like it. And I love how you don't really know if that is sincere or a joke, but just to be on the safe side, like it, because I might still find you even if you do like it. If you want me to find you, I will find you, because I love you. And no, I am not love bombing you. I genuinely I genuinely love you, my fellow human, my fellow person. And yeah, it's been good hanging out with you. Okay, bye.